All right, guys, welcome back to the channel and Happy New Year. Just want to give you guys a thanks, those of you who like, who subscribe, who share our videos, and just for those of you who watch, we're very thankful for you guys. Thanks for allowing us to keep putting more content out there. And really, our ultimate goal, as you guys who watch know, is we're just trying to push not just jiu-jitsu, not just wrestling, not just judo, like a whole system of grappling forward. That's the way I look at it. All styles aside, like when we're just talking about grappling, okay, how can we find the ultimate system or like the ultimate perspective so that we can just push all three forms of the sport forward, okay? And with this new year, I think it's cool to maybe share new perspectives as we always do. But today what I want to talk about is pinning, okay? Very basic position, side control, okay? Most of us, right, maybe we see side control and it's just like, oh yeah, that's a transitionary phase, right? Maybe we don't really think about the value of side control, right? Like in judo, wrestling, being in side control is huge because that's where you pin someone, that's where you get your win, right? The submission of wrestling and judo is a pin, right? So judoka wrestlers, they have, right, there's high value in understanding how to hold someone down here. But for jiu-jitsu practitioners, usually we're in transition from this phase, right? You see a lot of people, right, they switch across to side control so you can take the back, attack kimuras, okay? But it's like usually surrounded by a lot of motion, or there's that big dude in your gym that just lays on you in side control and doesn't do anything, right? What we want to talk about today is I want you guys to understand the importance of holding someone down on your back. It's probably the number one thing that you should develop, maybe like blue or purple belt, after you guys understand how to escape the pins, is can you hold someone down? Because after all, and I'm going to go ahead and say this with confidence, I think the most dominant way to submit people, and this is jiu-jitsu, MMA, nogi, doesn't matter, is getting on top of them and submitting them from top, okay? I know traditional jiu-jitsu culture promotes finishing from the back, or like finishing heel hooks, like leg entanglements, or even finishing submissions from the guard. I personally think if you can get on top of someone and finish them from side control or mount, or force a rear mount where they're belly down and you're on top, that is pure dominance. And I think it's not taught a lot in jiu-jitsu because it's hard to get there and we don't value the pin. So this video, I want to talk about side control, which is one of the three pins that you can submit someone. So real quick, if you guys didn't see our last video, so there's three ways you guys can hold someone on their back. There is chest to chest half guard. Okay, we made a video talking about the leg Turk. I can pin Nate from here. I can pin him flat on his back and I can submit from here. Okay, there's mount with double underhooks. Here, mount with double underhooks. Right, where we can slide up to an S mount. Okay, and then there's side control where we can start attacking mainly from like a side crucifix here. Okay, so understanding how to pin and submit from those three positions and transition amongst them is going to be key in developing this skill of dominating on top. Okay, so we're gonna film this in two parts. We already put out the half guard, the leg Turk, submitting people from half guard. So if you guys want to see this one, how I navigate submitting from this position, again, this is very common. You see a lot of the Dagestani fighters, Khabib, Islam, they finish people from here. Okay, if you guys want to see a whole system on this, go ahead and check back on our old video. I believe it's titled like submitting from half guard or dominating from top half guard. Okay. Today we're going to talk about side control and then we're going to drop another video about mount. Okay, so side control. It's important when we're in side control, one, we understand where we're going, and two, we understand what we're looking to control as we transition to those places. So from side control, you guys are, your end pin, where then you'll be able to submit from, is either side crucifix, okay? Either looking to get a side crucifix here, in which we can step over the head, figure four, or start looking to attack Kimuras and straight arm locks, okay? Or from side control, we're looking to get 2 underhooks, and we're looking to mount with 2 underhooks from side control. Those are the 2 pins we're looking to get to, and then from those pins, we're looking to submit from there. Okay, but this video, I want to talk about more about holding people down and how do we even get to those 2 spots. Okay, so typically what I see, whenever people get in side control, they control the head and the arm right here. This is everyone's favorite. There's like this fascination with controlling someone's head. Okay, but to me, this is the worst pin you can have in side control. Okay, you never see any wrestler or judoka pin someone from this position. They're never here. Okay, why is this ineffective in my opinion? Okay, one, and you guys can probably attest to this, let us know in the comments. Everybody gets this elbow in right here, that frame, and then Nate connects his knee to his elbow, boom, okay, he gets back. The second thing, okay, is when I'm here, okay, Nate can start giving me a hard time. His hips are unattended, right? It's like hard to monitor. He's shaking me up. Maybe he pummels the top underhook. Okay, it's not a very effective position to secure. So whenever we get to side control, I always tell my students, you're looking to start your transition in 2 places. Either in Keisagatame here, because one, this closes off his elbow to knee connection, okay, and it allows me to settle my hips down. So if Nate's bigger, right, it's harder for him to throw me off. Like maybe when you guys were white belts, right, you get here and your partner throws you off. More of a beginner mistake, but it's less common when I'm sitting my hip. Or if you're not going to be all the way in the upper body in a Keisagatame, you need to be at the hips in a leg drag position. Okay, only in these 2 positions as soon as you get in side control. Okay, no more of sitting here like this. I feel like this maybe got passed down generations from bigger practitioners that are just like, they have success there just because they're huge and they can hold people there, and like they use their shoulder to crush their jaw, but it's not a good pin. It doesn't maximize your ability to use your weight. Okay, so let's just say I take Nate down and I land in Keisagatame. Okay, so we know I'm trying to get to side crucifix or mount with double underhooks. What's a pathway to side crucifix? Okay, so from here, okay, what I'm going to look to do is start to lift. So I keep this overhook so that Nate can't escape his arm in, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift the shoulder and I slide my knee underneath the shoulder here, okay? Now the second move I go to do is drive my head to the mat, okay? Now from here, what you're probably going to feel is your partner trying to get this shoulder back to the mat. Anytime I create lift and I start supporting this, Nate knows that this is tight. He's going to want to bring his shoulder back. Okay, so as I lift, okay, Nate's bringing his shoulder back. Okay, I can slide my hand to the wrist and then sneak my leg through here. Okay, and now notice how right away I switch my hip to where I'm facing Nate's head here. Head is on the floor so that this arm can't get in front. Okay, now from here, I'm going to look to control the wrist. Okay, here. Now, all I'm doing is I'm sliding towards the head. I'm looking to progress to a position where I can hook Nate's head. Figure 4 would be great, but it's not necessary, okay? If I can get leg over the head, my next goal is just to isolate the wrist here, okay? Isolate the wrist. You can attack straight arm lock, okay? Or you can finish Kimura, okay? So that's what we're looking for. Now, is it going to be that easy? Of course not. Right? Maybe sometimes as you lift, your partner doesn't try to shove their shoulder back to the ground. They actually try to turn that way. So if as I lift, Nate is actually trying to turn that way, maybe trying to off balance me, that's why I'm going to switch my legs and bring my knee underneath his shoulder. Okay, here. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and hook the head. I bring my arm over and I hook the leg. This is like a common thing in like judo is they'll hook the leg here. Why do I hook the leg? Okay, because sometimes maybe you're going with the wrestler or the MMA fighter in your gym. Their response from side control is to get to turtle, not to get a closed guard. So if I don't attend the legs, he's going to be giving me a hard time here, and I'm going to start losing this position if he values getting to all fours rather than just trying to get a knee shield in. Okay? So, again, I'm lifting, and maybe he tries to bump me that way. Look, I reach over the shoulder to pull him back down, and we settle on the leg here. Okay? Now from here, Nate's going to try to hip escape. He's going to try to struggle. My hip is an underhook under his right arm. Okay, now from here, another big mistake is people go for the mount right away. And against better guys, they're going to catch the butterfly hook. I see this all the time. They get greedy. Right? They try to step over, they get the half butterfly, and they get tossed off. Okay? So instead, once I'm controlling the leg, just don't go to full mount, go to half mount. Look, now I'll hook the bottom leg, and now we're in that leg Turk position where I can start attacking the arm. Okay? Now from here, again, we made a whole video on this, but you got straight arm lock. Okay, if I feel like I'm separating, I can even dismount, go back, step over the head, Kimura. Or if I'm having a hard time isolating Nate's arm, he's fighting me really hard, I can just use this to remount, scoop the head, and now we're getting closer to that mounted double underhook pin, which we'll have to work through from head and arm. Okay? Now let's talk about the second or the third route. So the first one is we're able to get straight to the side crucifix. Second one, they deny us the ability to pin that arm because they're trying to turn away. So we go to that crossbody pin, we hook the leg, we go to half mount or half guard. Then from there, we either attack the Kimura and mount. Now the last one, okay? Maybe as I get to Keisagatami, Nate's getting that elbow in. Okay, see that? He's getting the elbow in. Now this is where going to that second option I was talking about where either we're at Keisagatami or we're at leg drag. Anytime your partner is able to get the elbow in, we have to get the hand underneath here. Okay, again, if Nate gets this elbow in and I decide to like hip switch here, he's going to get that arm free, he's going to escape. So at all costs, we have to monitor the underhooks. The elbow comes in, my hand needs to come down, and look at how I circle my legs back to leg drag. Okay? Now from here, you guys have a couple options, okay? I can proceed to start mounting from here and then slowly start to work to my double underhooks. Or let's just say I'm a lot smaller than Nate, okay? And I can't drive my head to the mat. I can run back to Keisagatami with 2 underhooks, lift, and then lock an S grip around his shoulder. Give me some resistance, Nate. So as I lift, even if he's resisting me, as I lift and I try to put my head to the mat, notice how all my body weight, okay, is behind this arm. So he's muscling all my body weight here. Now from here, if I can manage to lock my hands, I commit my forehead to the ground, switch my hip, and we go knee on belly, and we start mounting from here. Now I can start working, okay, to S-mount finish, okay? So it's very important that when you guys mount, and we'll talk about this in the next video, you try to mount with 2 underhooks always. That's the ideal. Don't mount with nothing, okay? 2 underhooks is a priority. Head and arm is like second best. Let's talk about some things that like troubleshoot the position, okay? When I teach this in class, some of the big problems, right? The first one, okay, the first problem students experience is the hand comes in front of the face here. Okay, 1, we shouldn't allow this. That means that we're just chilling with our chest back too long. And again, that's probably more of a mindset is like we're thinking side control is a position we hold when we should constantly be in transition while pinning, okay? So if their hand gets across, of course, that's happening because I'm too far back. So ideally, as soon as we get to case gatame, we're driving forward head here. Okay? Now, again, I know someone in the comments is going to be like, oh, what happens if they throw you over? Again, it's all about lifting the arm. I can't guarantee they won't, right? But it's not, that would be muscling the technique. You'd have to be a lot bigger than me. Even then, if Nate tries to use that momentum to throw me, sprawl your hips, like you see I open my legs, look. If you stay here and you're just running, of course, right? But if I'm driving forward and I feel, look, scissor the legs, that helps settle you back here. Okay, but anyways, I just know someone out there is gonna say that. So, okay. Now back to the point. Okay, I'm driving my head forward so he can't get the hand in front of my face. Okay. The other issue people run into is, oh, let's talk about even if he did. Okay, even if he did get the hand across. So from here, if my partner does frame on my bicep, you just have to switch, bring your arm over, switch your hip, and then we're gonna go to that crossbody leg pin here. Okay, so it's not a big deal, you just have to address it right away. Okay, now, another problem here is they get the elbow in. Okay, you start transitioning back to leg drag, and your partner starts turning over, and they turtle. Okay, so some of my students, when I was teaching this, were having a trouble with that. So whenever you guys lose the upper body pin, meaning the shoulders come off the mat, your answer is to settle the legs. Okay, so if Nate gets his elbow free and I'm walking back and I feel his arm going over, what we need to do is, you see my bottom underhook, I need to find a way to cut it back and underhook this leg here. Nate, try to turtle. Okay, it's gonna be very hard. Now from here, I look to step over the leg, and now we're in this like crossbody wrist ride. Either here he's gonna concede to his back, but then he'll give up mount here, or he'll continue to build up to a wrist. And then now we're in this position. We also made a video about this crossbody wrist ride where I can start working, okay, to put him belly down. Another horrible position for him. Okay. Now, lastly, guys, whenever you guys are, you're good. Oh, one more thing, sorry. Lastly, too, is, okay, everyone's talking about, okay, well, what happens if I can't get to case gatame and I am with the head here and the elbow comes in? Anytime that elbow comes in, again, your answer is to go for the hip switch, underhook the leg. I personally like to go to half guard every time. Okay, again, if you're bigger than your partner, maybe you can go straight to mount, but that's my preference. I think half guard's a strong pin. Again, you can use the Islam and JDM fight as reference, right? Like half guard isn't really a good thing for the bottom person. It's a better thing for the top person. You just have to understand what you have, okay? So with that being said, guys, that's our side control system that I was showing this week in class. Just know one thing when you guys go to perform this or drill it. Again, nothing in jiu-jitsu is static. Like you're never just sitting there waiting for something to happen or waiting for your partner to give up. Okay, you have to constantly be seeking higher positions of control. Okay, and the moment you stop seeking it is when the bottom person, as long as they keep fighting, is going to get their opportunity. Okay, you can't wait for things to happen. You have to transition safely and with securing underhooks, okay, until every single time your partner adjusts, you adjust. You adjust. And every time you adjust, you're getting closer and closer and closer to those end goal pins. Side crucifix, mount with double underhooks. And then from there, that's where we're looking to finish. All right, guys, I hope that helps out. I hope you guys learned something, maybe gave more light on the importance of pinning from side control. Stay tuned because we're going to drop that next one about mount, which is again going to be crucial, and I think a lot of you guys will enjoy that. As always, guys, thank you again for supporting our channel. Also, we've been getting more inquiries about the Zoom privates, so feel free to hit us up on Instagram at Kata Los Angeles or on our email, info@katalosangeles.com. All the information is below. Yeah, guys, if you want to Q&A or just a Zoom private, just let us know. We're open to it. And yeah, guys, have a good new year. Stay posted. We're going to drop that mount instructional soon. All right, guys, see you on the next one.